Peace is still essential aspect in global politics. With the many factors that impacts humanity, peace is often neglected and undervalued. Let's bring in Mr. Taylor Glenn O'Connor, founder of Everyday Peace Building. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Sure, happy to be here.
Let's start the Global Affairs Insider. Can you please tell us about the mission vision of Everyday Peace Building?
Sure. I mean, the mission is to basically support regular people who want to make change on any social issue they care about that don't necessarily need to consider themselves peace builders, because there's a lot of people who care about a particular social issue, something very specific, and we're there to help them and support them find ways that they can build peace and make a tangible change on the issue that they care about. The wider vision, because we've been building a network of peace builders all over the world. We're in over 100 countries, and what I'd love to see very tangibly is informal networks of peace builders taking action to build peace all over the world, in every country in the world, and globally, on kind of issues that concern people in different regions like this. I do think that informal networks, like, of individuals, really have the power to make change. Like, people individually, and like connecting and supporting one another outside of any kind of formal system, really can and do make change all the time. And that's what I'd like to see, creating opportunities to make those connections so people can take action all over the world.
What made you decide to pursue peace advocacy?
I worked as a peace builder, first in Myanmar, supporting local groups and then national groups, and then worked in many different countries within UN systems. And everywhere I went, I encountered a lot of challenges within the system, mostly that the major funding mechanisms globally that support peace building work don't let you address the issues that cause the conflict. They're working on the effects. So it's humanitarian response, or it's something like this. And so I found that to be able to build peace, we need to address the roots of the problem that cause any kind of issues in society. And so to be able to do that, I found it necessary to work outside of those systems and support individuals directly. And so that's why I started this. And nothing existed like this. I found I was looking to join something that supported individuals as peace builders all over the world, and wasn't part of a global structure or funding, receiving global funds. And then there didn't exist anything, so I created it.
Can you bring us during the moment when you started your advocacy? What motivates you? Who inspires you?
Well, when I first started, I studied peace and conflict, peace education, and a lot of the peace builders I worked with were kind of grassroots or local level. They didn't go and study and get their master's or PhD, nor would they be able to. And so I found there was a disconnect between the theories and concepts and approaches of peace building that we learn when we go study that, and people on the ground actually doing the work. And so I sort of needed to translate that into language that people could understand. And so what I started doing is blogging and creating content to do that. And so now I'll be using that same content and building kind of trainings that can be accessible to everyday peace builders, anybody who wants to build peace. And that's kind of the work that I've been doing, is kind of reinventing concepts of peace building that can be applied directly to anybody who wants to build peace.
What are some of the major programs of everyday peace building? How did it change the lives of its benefactors and even the larger society?
Sure. What I what I find is that there's different things that we need to do. And since I operate not as an NGO, as an independent business, it gives me the freedom to do what I find I need to do and to respond very quickly. And so part of it is creating the content that I mentioned that everyday peace builders or anyone who wants to build peace can use and find ways to identify the issue they care about and find ways they can use their unique talents and skills to build peace and get started with that. And so I'm creating that content and making it free and accessible to anyone to really get started. I also can have other resources and materials, and I get involved to support people who are further along in their peace building journey or are leading their own organizations or have their own programs and help them kind of build strategies and develop programs. And those are kind of different people on their different stages in their peace building journey. And then the last part is kind of creating spaces to connect individual peace builders. And so I have a list, everydaypeacebuilding.com. You can go there and you can join our email list. And we were having like meetups and events and things like that. And we're doing other things now. We're going to launch some chats and things so we can create spaces for people to connect. The main way that we do that now is the Facebook group People Building Peace. So if you go into Facebook and you search People Building Peace, you can join our group, and that's where we're kind of connecting people. And I hear stories all the time. I try to connect people when they come in. If you're working on this, if you're an artist in one country and you want to help work with an artist in another country, or if you're a peace educator, we have some peace education projects as well that people are from many different countries all over the world connecting and working on. And then I hear stories, sometimes people just connect themselves. And then they say, oh, I met this person and we've been talking and they're helping me do this. And I didn't even know about it. And so that's kind of the idea, is to create that space for people to connect. And so so you can join our email list from the website, everydaypeacebuilding.com, or you can go to the Facebook group, People Building Peace, and you can join in and start connecting with other peace builders from over 100 countries.
What can we look forward with everyday peace building in the years to come? What is your message to our view?
Well, I'm working right now to develop a lot of my resources because I'm really inventing a lot of new resources to be accessible. And I'm making those available. I'll be coming out with e-courses pretty soon. I'll have some free and some paid e-courses. More like entry level stuff is just to get people in and get moving with starting to build peace. And then I have some more paid courses further along to generate income. And so I'm going to be developing those and creating more platforms for people to connect, events and things like that. As things grow, you know, it's still small, just started in the last few years. And so, so it's growing step by step.
Mr. Taylor Glenn O'Connor, founder of Everyday Peace Building, thank you.
Thank you.
This is Dr. Rayron Del Rosario. That's the Global Affairs Insider. Follow us to our next episode only here in IPDCI News Channel.